If we move on to pre-allocations, now I'm actually going to cover off pre-allocations and SOP management at the same time. So they are separate. So we're going to go into a sales order, we'll look at the pre-allocation piece, but then we'll look at some of the other SOP management functionality, and then we'll come back into pre-allocations and SOP. So I'm going to do a bit of a blended one, but I will explain what modules I'm looking at as we go in. So standard Sage sales order. Click on a new full order. So the first bit we're going to see is SOP management. So as I pick a supplier, so we go for King Stanton, we bring this screen up. So this is SOP management, and the idea is, and I'm no disrespect to any salespeople who might be on this call, but being a salesperson myself, I can only talk about myself and perhaps some of those colleagues I've worked with over the years. But the moment you dangle a carrot as the customer's going, I've got an order to place, all sense of kind of admin, and that goes out the window. You know, you're there, you're focused on the prize. So often, or feedback is, because the delivery in invoicing is a separate address, or filling the correct analysis codes, that can go out the window because you kind of save it, and you know, you're doing what you want salespeople to do, is they're just hammering through the calls. So what we've done is we've brought this to the forefront, so you can pick or add a new delivery address, fill in the appropriate analysis code, see any notes at the forefront before you start to take the order. We then also bring up a list of undispatched sales orders. So could I tag this to an order that's due to go out on Friday, for example, or customers asking about the status of that? I can just write down the number of another sales order and then take this order and then go to that one to have the discussion. So at this point, again, now we're into standard Sage, but you'll notice there's a larger sort of number of options down here. So first one I'm going to go into is just the standard add items. So we'll pick on our espresso machines. Now I'm going to pretend that I haven't got any in stock, but again, this is the SOP management piece. It's just telling me we flagged this as a superseded item. So I could, if I've got stock, still sell the old-fashioned espresso machine, but there is a superseded item. Now, customer wants 10, and I'm going to pretend we haven't got any stock. So I'm actually just going to jump into the pre-allocation piece now. So you don't need the SOP management for this. So if I come into pre-allocations, we haven't got any stock. So if I do that, I can see what open POs we've got with free stock. So actually, I can't fulfill this customer's order, but I could ring fence 5, I could ring fence 8. So if they're happy with that, all I do is just, I pre-allocate 3 to that one, I go back in and pre-allocate the other 5, and then there'll be 2 for us to order. And all that's doing is creating that pre-allocation and just ring fencing that stock. So again, customers absolutely love that piece. If you then have the SOP management, again, all complementing this, you get the distribution option here, where we can show the future stock movements for that particular customer, so they can have a view at, for that particular stock item, those future stock movements. And there we can start to see, before we do the pre-allocation, have we confirmed, are those purchase orders confirmed or not, based on that color coding. I appreciate I'm intertwining all of these, which is how it works. You know, obviously it depends on which features and functions are important, so which modules you take. But again, just showing you how it all pulls together. Likewise, in there, I haven't got any stock, I could speak to the customer and say, if we were to order some stock today, we can get it in on the 15th. And if they're not happy with that, another element of the SOP management I mentioned earlier is just being able to record a lost order. I don't have to save that sales order line, it's just them storing that in the background, and I'll show you where that is later. Also with the distribution, you've got stock item balances. So we've enhanced Sage's stock item balances here. So what stock have we got at our other locations? What allocations have we got? Again, what purchase orders being able to drill down, and just presenting as much information as possible. And the one I really like in here is previous sales orders. So the customer's on the phone trying to pull the wool over our eyes. No, I never paid that last time. Well, there you go. We've got a list of all of the orders, the quantity they bought, when they bought it, and the price they paid. Again, it makes me sound like I'm painting a bad picture for the customers, but I'm certainly not. The other features of the SOP management, then you've got, I mentioned the telesales. So this is great if they know the stock item codes. You can just very quickly add these in, just tabbing through quantity the customer wants, price. I can override the price again if you've got permission in sales orders, discounts. I can record as lost. I've still got the distribution button, but if we're happy with that, I can just then quickly add those lines to the sales order. I can add historical lines. So these are the items this customer's bought from us in the past. It just lists the last time they bought it, quantity they bought, the date, and the price. Again, what new quantity they want. So it's just, again, trying to speed up that process, give visibility, and give an extraordinary customer experience. We can copy lines from previous sales orders. So the customer says, oh, I think we ordered all of these. I want all of them, but I don't need those 2 items. Well, just tick the items you want, and you just add them to the order. And then finally, we've got templates. They're not dynamic. These are just very simple templates where Black Friday specials, we're selling these, and just add them to the orders, and you can create the templates in the background. So that covers the stuff on the sales order. Now, just to finish off the theme of the SOP management, now, if it's not too sad to have a favorite screen in a module, then, well, if it is too sad, I've still got a favorite screen in the module, is this one, is managing the back orders. So you get this as part of the SOP management as well. So being able to click on display, this is showing me all of the sales order lines that have yet to have stock allocated, but also all of the sales order lines that have had stock allocated that we've yet to dispatch. So a number of ways. Some customers like to manually allocate. Well, in this particular screen, you can see your free stock, and as I allocate 3, if you just keep an eye over here, the free stock goes down. Or I could just select all and allocate, and the system will do that for me, but you've got a bit of control. But the way I like to think of this is we've got a client. Now, I appreciate all customers are equal, but there might be those customers where if they phone up, you want to go the extra mile for them just because perhaps they've been extra nice to you recently. So in that scenario, we haven't got enough stock, filter for the stock item, but I can see Abbey Retail there. We've got some items or engineering services. There's 10 I could take from them. They don't need it till next week. So it allows me to unallocate that stock and then allocate it to the appropriate order. So it's just a way of being able to move those allocations around from a single screen. The other bits that you'll get, that's where you can set your templates. The lost orders inquiry, all of those lost orders you'll see in this particular screen, and you can just authorize that you're happy, or you can delete ones if it's just nonsense. But of course, the ones that are authorized will then, depending on which ones you've set to include in the minimum stock, are going to be included in that calculation. We've also then got things in here such as just a line list. So Sage's list view, but actually the individual sales order lines. So rather than drilling down into the sales order, just being able to see the line levels and the quantities on them. So it's just, again, tools that customers have asked for. Just back into the pre-allocations. And by the way, you can pre-allocate from a PO and pick sales orders, so you can do it from that side. But being able to see all of those pre-allocations from a holistic view, or filter by stock item and see any pre-allocations, be able to edit them, delete them, or even just create ones on the fly. So just giving you that visibility.